animals. We have pigs, we have sheep, we had chicken, and then we have a big water harvesting where we harvest water for use at the building, and where we also harvest water for irrigating our nursery and our greenhouses. And we have installed 2 solar systems. One is an on-grid system. I am, by the way, very impressed by Planet 8's solar system that I have looked into a few times and learned about. And so that would be an on-grid system to my understanding, but we do have 2 systems also on off-grid. So we showcase these 2 models, and I think we are Caribbean's only school on 100% renewable energy. Okay. This is our campus. We have a 30-acre campus, and over the past years, we have transformed our campus from initially having a lot of bananas that needed fossil fuels input, fertilizers and chemicals, or fossil fuel based. But we have managed to transform our whole farm to organic, which also you could say is carbon farming. So this kind of farming would draw carbon out of the atmosphere and store it in the ground. So we can farm in ways that just aids the planet in all ways. It also aids the biodiversity that we need to protect. It's an overview of it over our campus and our farm. Now we had, and then we've had a lot of students all the time participating. We have had last year a volcanic eruption. So the frequent climate disasters that we have, this is ongoing and it's man-made. We are at the foot of an active volcano, so we did have a natural disaster last year. And this has been a quite difficult year for us. That's also why we're calling out for help. And we need volunteers, we need people. The eruption was 32 explosions in the month of April last year. So we had closed the school, we evacuated for 5 months. And then we returned to recover the campus, and it's ongoing. We have recovered most of our buildings, roofs, terraces, structures, so that we can live there. And we have reopened our school again in January with the help of a lot of volunteers. And then it will take us another 2 years to recover our farm. So the pictures that I just showed from our climate center farm, it's currently not in operation, but in over the next 2 years, we will get back up. So it poses quite a few challenges in St. Vincent, this eruption, but the climate challenges are just ongoing. Okay, this is something that happens every 80 years or 60 years or something, but it's been a challenge, a big one. Now, the students and teachers, we are having a lot of courses, obviously, about sustainability topics, renewable energy, or organic farming, how to teamwork, how to community build. So students come to RVA for 6 months or 10 months. First of all, we study, and then after 1 or 2 months, we go together out in the communities where the Richmond Vale Academy is running projects. One project that we are running is an ecological home garden movement. So we have created more than 150 home gardens, and we have grants and partnerships for many more to come. So this is ongoing, how we're working with families to create nutrition and food security through backyard gardening. Another RVA project is coral restoration. It's a relatively new project. We started about half a year ago. The preparation to do coral restoration has been over the past 5 years, because we started a diving center, we got involved in planting mangroves, we start to learn more about ocean acidifications and the challenges the oceans are facing in this climate crisis. And when you live on a small island state and the temperatures are warming, hurricanes form easier. So how do you protect your coastline? You can protect your coastline through your reefs, and you can protect your coastline through planting mangroves and coastal trees. It's very important for us to protect our coastline because 85% of our people live less than 5 meters above the sea level. Now, this project here is with the Caribbean Biodiversity Fund. We have 16 Vincentian students and some of our international volunteers involved as well. And together with 3 other organizations, we are planting more than 20,000 corals. The corals are called elkhorn and staghorn. And here's another project we are working on now, which is protecting our coastlines through planting of coastal trees and mangroves. And this project actually just started, so it's going on for the next year. All of these projects are like, we see them ongoing for the next forever years, because it's so needed, and it's a big effort to get our island ready for climate change. How can we lessen the damages? Because we will have damages, but how can we adapt? Just yesterday, I had a visit from the US ambassador for the Eastern Caribbean, and we are extremely grateful to the US government because of their generous support to our projects. We are currently on an Inter-American Foundation grant on building 100 home gardens. The US Forestry Service is supporting the planting of coastal trees and working with community groups. And we are initiating a cooperation with USAID, and it's very likely that we target renewable energy for poor families so that we can install solar panels on rural homes. And the visit with the ambassador was very pleasant, and that was also USAID. So hopefully in a year from now, if we speak again, I will be able to give you this update, because it's pretty groundbreaking for us to have such a good partnership and such good outlook in these partnerships. We do also have some other projects going in the next months with UN Women. We are working with an organization who take care of women who have suffered under violence and harsh conditions. And we will do skills training with them to learn how to do ecological farming. Now, all these projects is what we do together with our students, and this is or our volunteers. So our volunteers are from all over the world. We've had quite a few US Americans. Most of our students are Vincentian, but we have students from Germany, Colombia, Costa Rica, England, France, every now and then one from Japan, we had from Mexico, and so on. So this is a fantastic environment to be in, because just living, learning and working together with people from different countries is a very, very valuable experience. Also, students are mostly over 18 that are in our core program. That's 6 or 10 months where you live at our school, which is a boarding school. And then we do also run different environment use camps, and we have many students from St. Vincent in programs where they are not staying at the academy, but they are in for the day, like the coral restoration students. Our students study a lot about climate science, the planetary boundaries, ecological farming, the reasons for poverty, nutrition security, renewable energy. And we run our whole campus and climate center together. We grow the food, we take care of the media, we paint the walls, we teach the people who come to learn at our climate center, because we have, when we are in normal operation, no volcano, no COVID, we have about 800 visitors a year, school groups, churches, other faith-based groups, a variety of people come to visit RVA. And yeah, it's just some more of the pictures of the studies. So we also do some specific studies in what's called permaculture design, but that is really just a way of organic farming. And this is also what we implement together with the families in their gardens, because you can have all these plants working together. So we do not have to rely on imported fossil fuel-based chemicals from US or China. We need to find ways that we can feed ourselves with healthy food. And this is a very good push in this direction. And it's very supported by our government as well. And I wanted to finalize here before we take some questions. And we do have this one program that is 6 months. It starts in August, November, and February every year. And then we have a longer program where we are connected to Humana people to people in Africa and Brazil. So that program would be 3 months in St. Vincent, where the students study and learn here and are involved in all the climate projects and train. And then they would do their service period, their volunteer period in Africa or Brazil. So these are the 2 current programs. And as of now, One World Center and Richmond Vale Academy, we have merged our efforts because we have both faced several challenges due to the climate emergency, the volcanic eruption, the COVID pandemic, and actually the closing of embassies. So many students that would have joined One World Center are unable to get to the embassy and get an appointment. So therefore, we have put our forces together now and focus our programs on Richmond Vale Academy. But as soon as the COVID situation seemed to normalize, however, it could change. But the visa situation, we also need to see how that could change, because it is needed to have these 2 schools, both in operations, because the number of volunteers needed in Africa, in St. Vincent, it's actually growing. Yeah. So with that, I would like to thank you for listening. And I would really appreciate all kinds of questions.
Thank you very much, Stina, for all the information. So does anybody have any questions about, the programs, how the school looks like, any questions about the scholarships, about St. Vincent?
I have one question. This is Amy. I'm in the Elkridge, Maryland office.
Hi, Amy.
Hi. This has been a great presentation. Can you tell us a little bit about what the activists would do for the 7 months they go to Africa or Brazil after they've gone through the first 3 months at Richmond Vale?
Okay. Those who join the 10 months program, they work on different Humana people to people or DAPP projects. Depending on the country, they would go to Mozambique, Malawi, or Zambia. Now, the countries would write to us and say, we need volunteers for working in a teacher training college. We need volunteers to go out and share information about HIV/AIDS together with our field officers. We need volunteers to work with the farmers clubs, teaching ways of ecological farming, or work with preschools. So depending on what is needed in Zambia, Malawi, and Mozambique, we do say to our volunteers and our students that we need to be very ready to do what is most needed in that country at the time. So the students and volunteers who come here need to be ready for that they cannot say, I only want to do this. Mm-hmm. So yeah, because we are there to serve what they need. Mm-hmm. Does that?
Thank you.
Okay, good.
Stina, this is Hector. I'm in Elkridge also.
All right. Hi, Hector.
Hi, and I grew up in Puerto Rico. So
you did?
Yeah. So the dust cloud from the volcano goes all the way through
wow.
the Caribbean. And
actually, I didn't know it reached that far.
Yes, actually affects the climate in some of the other islands. So I'm familiar with hurricanes, with global warming, how the seas have risen in level every time I go visit. My question was, is there a particular demographic you're looking for, where you're thinking about volunteers, and I'm looking at my age, but when I look at all this, I go, wow. But is there a particular group that we should focus on?
Well, we do have for the programs that are live-in programs, you need to be over 18. Now you could say our students mainly come from like kind of three groups of people, if you can call it categories. One are students or people who they really want a gap year. They just finished high school, they finished maybe 1 or 2 years of university, and they just simply need a gap year. And in that year, they gather experiences, so they go back and then, they may continue the same career path or they may change. That's one type. Then another type of students that come and find us are people who they are dedicated to humanitarian work. They want to do development work. They want to do social change programs or climate change programs. So they are specifically, they have a degree or are on that track, but they need hands-on training. So we have people like that. They find us because when they can get the hands-on training, they can return to the job market and have a better chance to get a job in the field where they have studied, because often, well, some of you are hiring people, you say, well, what's your experience, right? And this really, really adds to their CV and their experience, and there's a better chance to work in that field. Then we have students who are, or volunteers who have maybe been working as a hairdresser 10 years, maybe have been selling Coca-Cola for 5-10 years, and they are at a point in their life that it's like, what am I doing? I always wanted to go and do something for other people or the environment, and I want to get involved. So the background of the people who come to our schools it's very diverse, which actually is very exciting, and it gives a lot to the groups. The groups are typically 10 people to 1 teacher. It could be a little more, a little less, but it's a very tight-knitted group you are together with, which is also becomes your little bit of a foreign family in a way. Yeah. So that's the kind. So it means that if you're 40 or 50, most students are between 20, 30, up to 35 maybe, but we had students up to 72. Yeah, volunteers, yeah.
Thank you. And one last question, which is a little bit personal. Have you ever had a student that was on the autism spectrum?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. I think maybe if some are a little bit on, maybe I'm not able to evaluate. Because so some people are.
I have a 17-year-old that's a junior in high school.
Okay.
Who we don't know yet what it's going to be able to do, but it was just a personal question.
But I don't know, we could just discuss and find out. I mean, we've had people with that would be a little bit different, but we've had people with physical handicap, not very good walker, missing an arm and so on. We had that, and we don't really, that it doesn't matter for us as such or for the group as such. But the student need to be able to move around, somehow get out to the garden. You got to be, you don't have to be that fit, but you got to be functional. Okay.
And he's functional. I was just wondering. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
But I have a question for you, Hector.
Go ahead.
I want to talk to you later if it's possible, because I'm going to Puerto Rico on the 23rd of July. Okay. To host an information meeting and network with partners in Puerto Rico. And I thought perhaps after this or at a point, if you have time, yes, maybe I could learn from you. Maybe you have some ideas, because this is our first information session and networking, because we would like to have more students from everywhere, but we are doing a specific push for the Caribbean. So we are doing campaigns in Florida right now, and we are doing campaigns in Puerto Rico along with other countries, but we have a narrowing our focus there. So
I'll be more than glad to support you. I have a daughter who is a teacher.
Oh, wonderful.
In Puerto Rico.
Okay.
That knows everybody according to her.
Oh, wow.
But anyway, I can talk to Denora and see how we can connect.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe you can have that conversation, you know, later on. I can give you the contacts and then we can just, yeah, you can just connect about all of the interesting things. But maybe we should open the floor if somebody has other questions related to the scholarships, the school, the program. Somebody else has a question? So I was thinking that a good thing that to add, it's that if there's other requirements that you have, Stina, I know that it's 18 years old, but I don't know if you want to say something about if you require a vaccine or not. If you know, going to the program, if there's any requirements, like something related to the people that might be interested, something that they need to take in account.
Okay. Well, we don't have specific requirements as of now, but any interested goes through an application process. So that you would notify the NORA if you know of a person who's interested, and then we will be in direct contact with the person and guide them through the application form. So once we have received an application form, we will have another call with the person and have a thorough talk through the program. We have very comprehensive materials about what you need to study, because it's a very intensive program. We almost say it's 24/7. It's obviously that's not possible, but you know, it is really an intensive program. So when we go through the program and how many, like you say, that's this garden, there's these classes, it is excursions, it's investigations, and sometimes we are on a target to invite so and so many people because that's into a grant that we have received, so that people who join us would need to be ready for that. And that gets very clear through the enrollment process or the application process. And then some who apply find out during the process, well, maybe it wasn't exactly this program that I wanted, and that sets you in another direction, AmeriCorps or Peace Corps, I don't know. And then others, the more they learn about our program, the more interested they get. But there's quite a few talks before you actually want to enroll, and then, or can enroll. And then it's this opportunity that then we go for applying a scholarship from Planet Aid. But the process starts first learning thoroughly about the program and also talking to some former and current volunteers. What about this? Or how is that working? Or what's your most difficult day? Or, you know, yeah.
That's super good. Thank you. So for anybody that does not know how it works, for as Stina said, for whoever is interested in the scholarship, the first step for them to do is to contact us, and we will give them the direct contact for the person in Richmond Vale Academy. For Planet Aid to award the scholarship, they first need to be fully enrolled in Richmond Vale Academy, choose a program, choose a date, and then have a decision made. After Richmond Vale Academy approves the application and it's in agreement, you know, that everything is, the program that they choose is available, etc., they will contact us for us to process the scholarship. In our side, we will just ask them to watch this video by the time that they contact us, just to make sure that the people that we send to Richmond Vale Academy know a little bit about, you know, what the school is, what St. Vincent has, etc. And then after Richmond Vale accepts them, they need to fill out an application and just talk to us, a short interview telling us why they really want this program, why they are interested, and then we can award the program. So if you have any questions about the scholarship, you can also contact us, and then we would be able to provide more information.
Yeah, that's good.
So does anybody else have any other questions, something that you would like to know about Stina, about the work that she has been doing, St. Vincent, the school, something?
Quickly, Tina, do you still have horses in the farm?
I don't know. I don't think I put any horses in the application, so maybe you saw that on the website?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we had before the eruption, we had more horses, but we have been evacuating the horses, and right now we only have one at the school, and the other one they are living with host families, if you could say, because of the whole situation of recovery. We have found some people who were very willing to help us take care of the horses for a number of months. They may return, but they may also be really happy with their new owners and the families. So at this point is open, but it's likely we're gonna have some.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in Richmond Vale. I was in Richmond Vale, and they had like pigs and horses and a huge garden. So whoever is interested, it's like, you know, you can see a lot of things going on, and everything, it's like a cycle. But anyway, thank you so much for coming. If you don't have any questions, thank you very much for the presentation, Stina. If anybody has any other questions or wants Stina's contact, or, you know, want to get to know more, you're more than welcome to contact us, and we will be more than happy to provide more information.
Well, thank you for organizing this, Denora, and thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you, Stina.
Well,
Thank you, Stina. Thank you, Denora.
Okay, have a great day.
Bye.
All right, thank you.